From San Bernardino, California, all the way to your ears, I want to thank each and every single individual that is tuning in right now to the Team Hit Squad Podcast. It is Monday, December 17th, 2018. My name is Lloyd Knox. I'm thanking once again all of you for joining us here. Greetings and salutations to all of you skaters, entrepreneurs, and self-help enthusiasts. This is episode number 11. Number 11. I think this podcast now has been in existence for 3 weeks, but in actuality has been in existence for a lot longer than that. We've been doing this on Instagram, except on an actual live feed for that long. And before we get this entire thing started, want to give the quick shout outs to Anabolix Skate. You can check them out at anabolixskate.com. When you use Hit Squad TV, you get yourself 10% off. EmpireSkateShop.com. When you use Hit Squad TV, you get yourself 10% off. RollerCon.com. Is it July yet? No, it's not. It is December. Very happy that it's December, but if you are not looking forward to RollerCon, you need to change your plans. You need to figure out how you're going to get to RollerCon. It is in Las Vegas. It's from July 17th all the way to the 21st. And it's going to be a great time, so make sure you are there. Motaskates.com, for the skater, by the skater. BigOTournament.com. It's coming this May 3rd all the way to May 5th. 3 days of incredible roller derby. WFTDA, MRDA, and JRDA teams will all be in a house. So make sure you either attend it at Eugene, Oregon, or you can get the live stream and whatnot. Also want to give a big shout out to S1 Helmets. This is all sponsored content today. I can't wait to talk about it. Moving on forward, we do have Team Hit Squad shirts as well as the Mr. Testosterone Just Spin shirt available. $20. It ships worldwide. All I need is your name, your size, your address. $25, and you can get yourself looking great and rolling with the team. Hit Squad University East will be happening on January 6, 2019. We have Coach Victor Dutch, Speed Bryu, Dizzy Izzy, the hometown phenom Olivia Glisson, and I'll be there teaching videography and help you how to grow your brand as an athlete. And newly added coach number 111 from New Jack City, Jacksonville Roller Derby, Jam Starella. The address is 1779 North Spring Garden Avenue, DeLand, Florida. So make sure you get there. Once again, the date is January 6, 2019, and that is a Sunday. We will be having a roller derby art show thrown by us at Hit Squad TV and the Alley Gallery in downtown Pomona, right by the Glass House. A mural of Hit Squad TV and roller derby will be painted on the wall by the phenomenal Cloak STP. There will be photographs from Tough Girls on 8 Wheels, Michael Weiss, Tristan King. The Angry Artist will be there with some of her art on display as well. Check out all the art all around Pomona as well. I'll also have a couple stories that I'd like to share with people about the sport as well as the importance of growing the sport through junior participation. If you are interested in attending, the address is 101 South Main Street, Pomona, California. We also have a new Team Hit Squad album that is going to be coming out over the weekend. We have changed the name from Black Hoodie Blues 2 to something that we are not releasing yet. We want to make sure that we pass it around through everybody in the organization and make sure that we get a thumbs up on it. So we won't be able to announce it, but we can announce that we are not naming it Black Hoodie Blues 2 because we are going to be saving that with my current band that I have. So there you go. It'll be released still on January 2019, so keep an ear out for that, and it'll be available on all streaming and downloading sites. So, now that we got all that fun stuff out of the way, let's talk about today's subject. Random facts about the brain. So, the brain is it's like an absolutely fascinating subject. Sometimes we take for granted the awesomeness of what's going on upstairs. The good people at S1 Helmets are always doing research on how to better protect your noggin. The NFL is currently changing rules and maybe even try to find a different approach to the game of football itself. You see, for the people that don't know, football used to be more like rugby than the football that we know and love today. Before it became normalized, throwing the football was actually discouraged. And one of the most discouraging things was if you pass the ball and your teammate completely misses the ball, the defense now gets the ball. What? Come on. As a matter of fact, Teddy Roosevelt helped create the change for football to become safer but never losing its brutal edge. Floyd Mayweather is one of the most hated athletes of all time. His consistent running, dodging, not wanting to go blow for blow, artistic defense going along with the statements claiming that he is the greatest, that made him like the most must-see athlete of his time. His goal was to simply make the most money by taking the least hits. His defense is legendary, and now retired, for now at least. He took minimal punishment in a sport that has left their legends in dire need of health, both mentally and physically. In roller derby, the brain is extremely crucial. Split-second decisions, keeping your head on a swivel because someone can possibly take you out. Co-founder Dan McCashin of S1 Helmets writes this statement that I found on the S1 website, and I thought it was something that I would really love to share with you all about what S1 Helmet is attempting to accomplish. I think it's very cool, very admirable, and I'd like to read it to you now. In 2010, we noticed some vert skaters, downhill skaters, BMX riders, and roller derby players were getting knocked out and in some instances getting traumatic brain injuries while wearing traditional soft foam skate helmets. We decided to take the soft foam helmets into the testing lab and learned that the impact energy goes directly through the soft foam helmets and rattles the brain. So we set out to make a better and safer helmet. We came up with the S1 Lifer helmet. The S1 Lifer helmet is constructed with EPS fusion foam and is 5 times more protective than the soft foam skate helmets. The S1 Lifer helmet passes the ASTM multiple impact test and the CPSC high impact test. Soft foam helmets fail both of these certification tests 100% of the time. We've taken the steps to educate the public about the S1 Lifer helmet through videos and printed media. Most skaters and parents did not know the traditional soft foam skate helmets did not pass any helmet safety standards. They usually only learn the difference after a head injury, and by that time it's already too late. A mom who watched her 15-year-old son get knocked out for 5 long minutes in the bottom of a pool while wearing a soft foam helmet later said to me, "I didn't know there was a difference between the S1 Lifer helmet and the soft foam skate helmets. We bought the soft foam helmet at a skate shop and just figured it was a good helmet. I really wish I knew before." We made a helmet that we wanted to wear and that we can 100% recommend to family, friends, and team riders. When you are wearing S1 helmets, you know that you are wearing the best, and if you own a retail shop, you know that you are offering the best helmet to customers. We thank S1 Helmets for keeping all of us safe, from skateboarding to roller derby. And they even have the Lifer full face helmet. It looks awesome. Let me see if I can bring it up for myself real quick so I can like kind of look at it. They have a couple options. They have my favorite one is the black gloss, and it looks wonderful. Let me tell you about it. Look, it's the same fit. It feels and protects the same, just like a Lifer, like the S1 Lifer helmet, but with a full face coverage, and it's certified CPSC for high impact, ASTM for multiple impact, and it includes 2 visors which you select between clear, tinted, iridium, and mirror. 3 thickness of cheek pads. That's awesome. You also get 2 extra sizing liners up and down a size from the size selected, a sticker sheet, helmet bag. It comes in small, 20.5 21, 21.5, 22, 22.5, 23, and 23.5 inches. It comes in all those sizes. And just to give you a couple of the specs, we've pretty much gone through that. The S1, the Lifer helmet was specifically formulated with EPS fusion foam, which is allowed to protect your head from multiple low force impacts as well as high impacts. So pretty much this helmet, just S1 in general, is all pretty awesome. I would suggest that if you do any type of extreme sports that involves and requires you to have a helmet, please go to S1. S1 is out there protecting everyone to make sure that they continue doing what they love. And in the spirit of talking about the brain and protecting it and whatnot, I wanted to give you a couple of facts about the brain. And we can kind of, not necessarily just through this conversation, but maybe it will spark your mind to want to research more about the brain and the traumatic events that the brain goes through. So without further ado, here are a couple of the facts that I dug up about the brain, and hopefully you can take some of these things away. Numero uno. Signs of a successful brain surgery goes as far back as the Stone Age. To relieve pressure from bleeding after a blow to the head, surgeons often drill or cut into the skull to allow fluids to drain. But people figured out that advantage and that procedure long before modern surgery. Trepanation, the removal of bone from the skull, is the most ancient surgical technique known. Archaeologists have found skulls dating from the late Neolithic age, some 5,000 years ago, with these holes in their head. So that is pretty awesome. That is the most oldest modern surgery tactic that they had, all the way going back to the Stone Age. Here's another fact for you. An adult brain weighs about 3 pounds. The adult human brain is about 2% of the total body weight. The average brain is about 140 millimeters wide, and the average human brain is 167 millimeters long. About 75% of the brain is made up of water. This means that hydration, even in small amounts, can negatively affect your brain and its functions. So it's always try to make sure you rehydrate yourself when you feel thirsty. I wouldn't necessarily say to try and drink 5 glasses of water a day or whatever it is, because that's more of a myth than anything. You drink water when you are thirsty. You don't overhydrate yourself. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of that, but please do yourself a favor. Don't overhydrate yourself. That's probably not as bad as dehydrating yourself. If not, it could be even worse. I didn't do my research on that as I was questioning it, but I'm going to check it out, and maybe I might have an answer for you tomorrow. Who knows? Next fact. The human brain will grow 3 times its size in the first year of its life, and it will continue to grow till about 18 years old. Headaches are caused by a chemical reaction in your brain combined with the muscles and nerves around your neck and your head. So whenever you start feeling that pressure, now you know how it's kind of created, and it sucks that you can't really relieve it right then and there once you figure it out. But nonetheless, now you know. So once you can, I think you could start feeling that headache coming. And if you feel like your neck kind of tightening up a little bit, you know it's coming. You know it's coming. Next fact, the brain of a human contains approximately, I don't even know how they were able to figure it out and give a definite answer of approximate, but I like it and I'm going to go with it. The human brain contains approximately 100 billion neurons. 100 billion. That is crazy. And that's just in one person. Oh, that is, wow. Next fact. It is a myth that humans only use 10% of our brain. I even to this day still hear this. I'm like, what are you talking about? Are you telling me that we only use 10% of our brain? Because of a movie said it. Oh, that's great. No, it's definitely not the way it works. We use our entire brain. We don't use, or maybe about 90% of our brain, something around that, but we use almost the entire brain because the brain has different functions. You know what I mean? Like 10% of your brain isn't controlling everything. Get it? Got it? Good. If you ever find yourself sleeping, and here's a pretty cool thing that'll kind of tie up with this. If you ever find yourself sleeping in a place that isn't your bed or home, there's a part of your brain that actually stays awake as you sleep, like at a hotel or a friend's house. And that's an actual defense mechanism that was developed throughout the thousands and thousands of years that humans have been in existence. Being able to sleep and being able to be aware of your surroundings just in case like a cheetah tries to come and gnaw your foot off or something, or a penguin comes and slaps you and puts an egg under you and now you are stuck with the penguin. You know what I mean? Like, you got to know these things, and thank goodness that our body has that. And that's why you don't feel like you sleep so well when you go over a friend's house or you sleep at a hotel. Like for people that play roller derby and they go out and travel, they have 3-day tournaments, like Big O tournament, for example, coming up May 3rd all the way to May 5th in Eugene, Oregon, or you can watch it on bigotournament.com. I'm just saying. Anyways, going back to it. When you go out and you're going to a tournament and you're sleeping at a place that is unfamiliar to you, subconsciously your mind knows this. And when you go to sleep, that part of your mind still stays awake. It's a defense mechanism. That's why when you wake up on Friday, then wake up on Saturday, then wake up on Sunday. Yes, it's also because of the bruising and the hitting and the intensity, and your brain is playing these games over and over again. But combining all of that exhaustion that your body just went through and you put it through, now you got to go sleep at a hotel where your mind is like, oh, now I can't even get my full real sleep so I can get fully rested. It's a very, very crazy cool thing that we can't control, but be happy that you have it. Be happy that you have that mechanism. Next fact. Information runs between neurons in your brain for everything we see, think, or do. These neurons move information at different speeds. The fastest speed for information to pass between neurons is about 250 miles per hour. That's why I always feel like my mind going so crazy sometimes with all these thoughts going through. And they're all different thoughts too. Like I was doing research about learning about peanut butter and apple. Like your tongue has these sensors that can taste sweetness a little more. And when it's mixed with, like when you're eating an apple and you put peanut butter on top of it, the salt brings out that flavor. And your tongue brings out and wants that flavor even more. So when you bite it, it tastes just so much sweeter than when you're actually just biting into a regular apple. That's the universe, everybody. That is the universe. The universe just loves to give you little info things here and there. So, all right, next one. Dreams are believed to be a combination of imagination, psychological factors, and neurological factors. They prove that your brain is working even when you are sleeping. The brain can't feel pain. It interprets pain signals sent to it, but it does not feel pain. And I realized that I blended two answers with one. So let me go back and split it up real quick. Dreams are believed to be a combination of imagination, psychological factors, and neurological factors. They prove that your brain is working even when you are sleeping. That's a very, very, very cool random fact. I know that I sometimes wake up thinking about random stuff that I would normally think in my regular awakeness life. I'm pretty sure that doesn't have a real connection to what I was just saying over here, but nonetheless, I'm trying to make some sort of connection between this information and my life. Forgive me. The next one, though, was the brain can't feel pain. It interprets pain signals sent to it, but it does not feel pain. I don't know what you would do with that information, but if you ever find yourself at a party and someone says something about the mind, make sure you drop that. That sounds like a great conversation starter. Excuse me. Did you know that the brain can't feel pain? It interprets pain signals sent to it, but it does indeed not feel pain. Not really sure what that was, but nonetheless, I committed to it. I wanted to stop after the first couple words, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna see it through. I'm gonna see this through. Embarrassingly enough. Next fact: the human brain begins to lose some memory abilities as well as some cognitive skills by your late 20s. Now mix that with you playing these very hardcore sports: football, roller derby, rugby, boxing, UFC. You start losing some of your memory abilities and your cognitive skills, and you're speeding up the process by playing these type of sports. You need to be able to take care of yourself, take care of your brain. That's why S1 is there. Make it happen, S1. Let's get to we have a couple more facts before we let you go. Let's see what we got here. The human brain gets smaller as we get older. This usually happens sometime after middle age. Fun fact. Next. Alcohol affects your brain in ways that include blurred vision, slurred speaking, an unsteady walk, and more. These usually disappear once you become sober again. However, if you drink often for long periods of time, there is evidence that alcohol can affect your brain permanently and not reverse once you become sober again. Long-term effects include memory issues and some reduced cognitive functions. And even going a little more deeper onto this, as far as alcohol is concerned, they did some studies on marijuana on this as well, but this is more leaning heavily on drinking. Okay, so I want you all to really focus and pay attention to this part. So as far as alcoholics are concerned, drinking as well as marijuana blocks a part of the brain that lets you go into like deep sleep, that REM sleep. Drinking and marijuana technically blocks that. But as far as drinking goes, and as far as this study that I remember seeing goes, it just goes on drinking. But if you deprive your brain of that part, like alcoholics go and drink for a long period of time, you actually start dreaming as you are awake. So basically what that means is these people that are alcoholics and drink heavily daily, and they start drinking for these extremely long periods of times, and you are purposely blocking your mind from being able to go into that deep sleep, that REM state where you're able to dream and all of that stuff. Eventually you start dreaming in real life. You start dreaming and it almost becomes a veil over your eyes. So you can imagine trying to communicate with a bank teller, and you're like, I just want to make sure I cash this check. And then you see like bunny ears, and you see your mind just playing tricks on you. It's that type of stuff. And I think it also happens when you become sleep deprived after passing a certain threshold on how far you don't go into sleep. I think there is this famous radio DJ that set a record for the longest time that this person was awake, and I think it was for 8 days. 8 days, no sleep. DJ was on air. From what I read, this person started becoming super paranoid. Started thinking that it was in New York too, and it was cold, it was snowing. These two people, or a couple people that walked into the building, they had jackets on because it was obviously snowing and it's cold. The DJ saw that and freaked out and ran into the middle of the street. Didn't die or anything like that. Just ran. Like, felt like he was paranoid. People were trying to poison him. The CIA, the FBI were coming after him. Your brain, super important. You see what your brain does if you don't give it the things that it needs. A proper amount of sleep. Just taking care of your brain is super important. Make sure you do that. Next. Eyewitness accounts of criminal suspects is usually only about 50% accurate because it is difficult for your brain to remember the details of someone you're not familiar with. Traumatic events can also affect the brain's ability to remember details. That is a very, very... That's a tough one to try and swallow, because I mean, traumatic events, you want to believe what your mind is seeing. And once again, when it comes to these type of things, like, this is just on an average. With list, that doesn't, it means nothing to the individual. This is just all on an average. So, take it for what the information is, and that's pretty much it. So, the very last one that I have for you, very small, very quickly, your brain uses 20% of the oxygen and blood in your body. And with that, the general takeaway that I have from this is that there's a lot of stuff out there about the brain that the doctors and scientists still seriously do not know or understand about the brain. However, they're learning more each and every single day. There's still a lot of interesting things to be learned about the part of you that does most of the work. There's still a lot of interest and learning to be done in that. Just like the rest of your body, the brain needs a healthy diet, exercise, and the right amount of sleep to perform at its absolute best. Take care of your brain, people. We only get one brain. So for all the young athletes that are out there, the people that play a sport professionally, amateur, take care of your brains. Even if it looks goofy or if it looks weird to you or your friends don't wear helmets, wear your helmet. Believe me, you will look less cool hurt. Bopping your head on concrete is not cool. It's really not. Take care of your brain. Take care of your body. And on that note, pretty much going to let you go. The Team Hit Squad podcast is pretty much over. Before I let you go, check out our sponsors, Anabolixskate.com, EmpireSkateShop.com, RollerCon.com, Multiskates.com, BigOTournament.com, and of course, the sponsored content, S1 Helmets. I want to thank everybody that tuned in. Thank you for joining the Team Hit Squad podcast. We will be back tomorrow. Not sure what the subject is going to be. I like to keep it a surprise, just like life likes to continue to surprise me in each and every single wonderful way. And on that note, you all have yourself a wonderful day. Be safe out there. Keep your eyes wide open, and we will see you mañana. Peace out.